I'm still shocked. I'm still speechless. In fact, I'm not speechless. I am just shocked. You know, when you're just shocked to the core, like when you're watching something unfold and you can't believe what you're watching. You can't believe what you're watching. That was genuinely what I felt tonight. Pretty much the whole game. In fact, no, maybe pretty much from minute 10 onwards, I would say. I don't know. When was it that we gave away the ball that allowed Anthony to get his strike on goal? And the rest is history from there. At the time of recording, I'm not sure for those who are keeping up with my Instagram posts, it is it's just gone past 10 to 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. I cannot shake this performance out of my head. So I thought, you know what, let me just get this done now because I'm not going to have time to do it in the morning. I'm going to be flying anyway. So rather than waking up in 2 hours' time to record this, I may as well just record it now, edit it, and have it ready to go first thing in the morning. And I'm not going to try and ramble on and on and on and on. Yeah. So I'm going to try and keep this as short and as sweet and punchy as possible. And listen, I can be a hater sometimes with just cause. And some of the things I may say will sound like I'm hating on Man United. I'm not. So I'm going to start with Man United first in my analysis. Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say that Man United played a top game today. I've been quite critical of Man United this season, and I will still continue to do so if their performances warrant criticism. But I watched them against Everton and they were really good. Then I watched them against Newcastle for the most part, and they were quite poor in the first half. I didn't watch the second half, but apparently they improved in the second half. Man United have been an up and down team this season, but that performance tonight was the best I've seen them across any competition so far this season. That's the best I've seen them. Yeah. I think outside of Jadon Sancho, every single man put in a shift tonight. Yeah. I thought Rashford destroyed our back line. He caused us so much problems, sat a couple man down. Probably should have had a hat trick. If he had his finishing boots on and we didn't have Lloris, he would have bagged the hat trick. I thought Anthony tore the living daylights out of Perisic. And we'll talk on Perisic more in a second. I thought Fred and Casemiro and Bruno popped it around our midfield for banter. Great strike from Bruno, but again, questionable circumstances that led to the goal, which I'll talk about. I thought defensively, Martinez had a really good game, fantastic game against Harry Kane. But again, I felt like the service into Kane was not good enough. I thought Varane was really good up against Son. Didn't really give him a sniff. You didn't really see much from our attackers. But I have my own view on that. But to be honest, from a Man United perspective, the centre backs were top notch. And even Dalot, I'm very critical of Dalot. I don't rate Dalot going forward, but today he was excellent. His passes into the midfield, driving with the ball, trying to sort of take on Perisic on that right-hand side, trying to make things happen for Man United, and even Luke Shaw as well. Listen, Man United were brilliant today. Casemiro was class. Fred was class. Deflected goal, but he was good. The only player that disappointed me for Man United was Jadon Sancho. I thought he was quite poor. I thought he was so poor. When the team is shining this way and you're still not willing to take man on, you're not really willing to sort of move the needle in your performance, so to speak, poor. Even David De Gea was good. His kicking, the amount of kicks, one kick from David De Gea and our defense was split open. It's mental. Even he had a good game on the ball. But yeah, Man United were good, really good. In fact, Man United were excellent. So that's what I wanted to say first. But I'm going to say this bit next, and I hope that people can take this well. Man United were excellent today, but I struggle to think of another top six side that will give Man United as easy a game as we did this season. I mean, today or last night, whenever it was. I don't think Chelsea go to Old Trafford and make it that easy for United. I know Liverpool lost there and were quite poor, but you compare our performance to Liverpool's, and as poor as Liverpool were, we were worse. Arsenal, they lost 3-1, same sort of gap in terms of the deficit, but they were 10 times better than us. 10 times better than us in terms of what they were able to do to Man United at Old Trafford. And Man City, listen, we know what Man City are about. So as excellent as Man United were, they will not have an easier game against a top 6 opponent at Spurs. I mean, at home than they did against us tonight. They won't. Because as excellent as Man United were, we were despicable. We were utterly despicable, revolting, trash, vomit-worthy, disjointed, unorganized, horrific in possession, just everything that could be bad about a football team, we did it. That was the only thing we were good at tonight. The only thing we were good at tonight, being bad. That's the one thing we excelled in tonight, being bad. And I don't just mean the performance, I mean some of the decisions with the tactics with the manager and the shocking substitutions as well. The only thing we were good at this game was being bad. We were consistently good at it throughout. Embarrassing. I'm not even going to dwell on the starting lineup because we wanted a 3-5-2, so he played the 3-5-2, and rightly so. And we wanted the more offensive wing backs. So you get Doherty and Perisic. Okay, cool. But one thing I wanted, and I'm not trying to say that because it's just one player, so I don't think Longley playing would have made a significant difference when you look at how many other players underperform. But why is Longley not starting these big games? One of the few people that actually could hold his head up high against Arsenal and has practically played well in all but maybe one of the appearances he's had for Spurs. Why is he not playing this game? A game where you need composure on the ball, a game where you saw at halftime you're struggling, even at 0-0, the warning signs were there, and you don't change anything. That was my only gripe with the starting lineup. But apart from that, it was what I would have played. Well, I would have played Spence, but you don't just throw Jed Spence into a game like this away from home when he's not played in previous other matches. But this was the team. Fair enough. Now, again, I'm going to not take up too much time here, but I just want to talk through everything that could go wrong. So I've explained what went right for Man United today and who did what. And now I'm going to explain what went wrong for Spurs today. Yeah. We started off well. I think we had the first shot of the game. Nice bit of play from Brenton Cole. Good give and go. Drives with the ball, and then flashes a shot wide of the post. And I thought, oh, okay, you know what? Nice. That was nice. Looked like we were trying to press a little bit higher up the pitch, similar to what we've done in recent games. Looked like we were trying to sort of get on the ball, play it out from the back. Yeah. Looked like we were trying to sort of impose our will on the game, similar to what we did last season, to be fair. But then I'm trying to remember what mistake it was. I think it was a pass, an infield pass. It might have been Basuma. I can't remember who it was, but someone misplaces a pass, and instantly Man United pounce on that, and they get their first attempt at goal, which was like a long-range effort. And then from that, they then get a corner, And then they then get another opportunity to work our goal. And then from there, it was one-way traffic. It was a Man United steam train. Just shots after shots after shots. They had 19 attempts to our goal in the first half. 19 attempts. And okay, fine. Most of them were long shots. But the more alarming fact was that they were getting closer and closer and closer and closer to scoring. They were able to constantly find gaps in between our midfield and the defense. The area around the D in our half was flooded with Man United players. Minimal pressure from Spurs players. Minimal pressure. The midfield, I don't even know what you can call today. Basuma had a really, really shocking game. Højbjerg had a really, really shocking game. Bentancur had a really, really shocking game. They were non-existent. Lacked energy, lacked pressing, lacked ball progression, lacked tenacity. They just did not put any pressure on Man United whatsoever. Fred and Casemiro and Bruno were having a jolly up, popping it around Spurs. Dalot playing passes infield, taking 2-3 man out of the game. The ball going in and around our box and nobody closing down the shot. Casemiro getting shots off. Fred getting shots off. Bruno getting shots off. Anthony getting shots off. Luke Shaw getting shots off. Rashford getting shots off. The midfield, dreadful. Dreadful. And don't even get me started on the back line. Eric Dyer, shambles today. Romero, shocking today. Shocking. There was one chance Marcus Rashford had in the first half where Fred, imagine Fred, again, under no pressure. No, he's in and around the D area of our box. And nobody is putting pressure on this guy. Everyone is ball watching. Nobody's watching the marker. There's two players. Marcus Rashford is sandwiched in between Romero and Dyer, and both men are sleeping. Fred plays in Marcus Rashford, and if not for poor finishing on Marcus Rashford's part, Man United would be 1-0 up. You can't play like this away from home against a side like Man United, no matter how lowly we think of them, no matter how inconsistent they have been, they're still Man United. You cannot go to this ground and play that way and expect that you're going to get a positive result. Oh my God. The first half was insane. Insane. Shocking performance. The only player that can come out of this with any sort of credibility is Lloris. And even then, his kicking was a bit so-and-so. For the most part, it was good. Maybe one or two passes wasn't great, but for the most part, it was good. Trying to play out from the back, but yet you can't play through Man United's press. You can't play through Man United's press. They had us penned in where we wanted. They knew which player to sort of apply their press trigger on, and bang, we turn over the ball. The amount of times we turned over the ball today, it was a joke. It was a joke. Oh my God. How could you play so bad? How can you play so bad in such a game that meant a lot? How? Not for the first time, not for the second time, the third time, and the worst time of all the big six teams we've played. Shocking performance, man. Oh my God. The passing today was, oh Lord. There isn't even a rating I can think of. I swear to God, I'm gonna just do my checks for fun before I fly off later on today. But I'm gonna check how many misplaced passes, because it's got to have been a record. I swear to God, because it felt at some point in that game that nobody could play a pass properly. Bentancur giving it away, Romero giving it away, Dyer giving it away, Davies giving it away, Perisic giving it away, Doherty giving it away, Basuma Couldn't even trap a ball. Couldn't even trap a ball. Højbjerg, invisible, invisible, not closing people down. And when he got on the ball, making weird passes. The only guy that had a decent pass from him today was Harry Kane. That was it. And that was what, like the 3 or 4 times he got the ball with space to pass where Martinez wasn't on him. God, God, Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy on us. And just when I thought the nightmare could end and we could pattern up, even Perisic, oh God, the performances have dipped. In fact, the performances weren't really impressive to begin with. They were just game changing. Like, he was changing games for Spurs, putting in good crosses in, putting in good set pieces. But I said a couple weeks, maybe like a couple streams ago, that I don't think Perisic has actually had many like top performances for Spurs. But they're coming. Conte spoke about, he's not 100% fit yet. Like, it's still coming. Big man, when is it coming? Because today, physically, as I said, this performance shocked me to the core. I saw Perisic in acres of space, bearing down on goal, 1v1 with Dalot on 2 separate occasions, and nothing came of it. I'm so shocked. You that can chop onto your left foot and put a cross in, or can chop onto your right foot, come inside and score. Nothing came of it. And that's alarming to me. A player of that caliber, he's not known for being that wasteful in the final third. And that was only half of why I thought he was diabolical. And he wasn't the only one. Defensively, oh my Lord. Oh God. Oh my. I've watched enough about Anthony to know that he's been a one-trick pony for the most part this season for United. Don't get it twisted. He scored and he's contributed and he's trying. But I felt like with Anthony, with what we've seen in the league, it's been quite predictable what he wants to do. And yet Perisic just let him do whatever he wanted. You want to come in on your left foot? Do it. You want to sort of try and dribble as close to the touchline and come inside? Do it. Yeah, you want to put me in a blender? You want to put me on the floor? Do it. Absolutely tore him to shreds today. The doubts are starting to enter my head that physically, this guy just can't do what we need him to do consistently for this team. You can't go up and down. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's got the fit. It's looking like he hasn't got the physical quality to sort of create the consistent separation, which I thought he had. And I don't want to be too knee-jerk. I'm still giving him a chance, but I can't ignore what I saw tonight. It is alarming. It's alarming that physically tonight he looked 10 notches below the standard. That's up against Dalot and Anthony. And I'm not saying it to say that Anthony's some schmuck, but I'm saying that you're going to have tougher games. You're going to have tougher games than Dalot and Anthony. Oh, God. Is there a way that we can activate Destiny's loan or cancel Destiny's loan and get him in January? Because, my God, if that's what Perisic is on, I can't deal with that. I need to see a better performance over the next couple of weeks because that was scary. That was scary. And it's not just him. Eric Dyer, I praised him when he played really well against Brighton. I praised him when he played really well against Frankfurt away from home. But the errors are starting to creep back in. Frankfurt At home, shocking mistake that led to their first goal. Really bad mistake that led to their first goal. Against Everton, he had a bit of a mare, passing erratic, lunging into tackles, not knowing when to sort of step out and go and engage with the ball. And then tonight, and it just went from bad to worse. Culpable for the first goal, as per. Shocking performance. So slow in his movement. Always 2 steps behind in terms of what he's meant to do to try and win the ball back. Defending was pathetic. Ball playing was pathetic. This was your season to prove that you deserved to be a regular starter in this team. And as good as you've played, as good as he's been this season, the limitations that this guy has as a centre back will always rear its ugly head, unfortunately. I like what Dyer's done for us in the last year. I like it. And I'm not going to come here and tell you that this guy isn't good enough to play for Spurs right now, contrary to popular belief. I don't think that's true. I think he's earned the right to be given the opportunity to play most games for Spurs. But in terms of the quality that we need to go up to the next level, you can't be playing like that. You can't. We can't be having that. I'm sorry. You can't. Performances like that, performances like today, yeah, only serve to prove that long term we need an upgrade on you. As good as he's been this season, you can't do that. You have to be better on the ball. You have to be better dribbling with the ball. You have to be better passing with the ball. You have to anticipate better off the ball. If you can't do these things to the standard that we need, then you shouldn't really be a regular starter. Do better, man. Do better. Honestly, that pathetic. And maybe he can't do better. Maybe you know what, I'll be real. There's a ceiling on what Dyer can provide for Spurs. And I think he's done quite well over the last year. But games like today or yesterday, whenever it is, emphasize the importance of raising the standard in this defensive line, raising the quality in this defensive line in Dyer's position and in the left centre back position. Davies was shocking tonight as well. Rubbish. Did nothing with the ball. Doherty was crap tonight again as well. Had a few bright moments early on, but was crap. Subdued. Didn't offer anything on the ball beyond the opening sort of 20 odd minutes. Romero, our best centre back, quality centre back, the one that we waxed lyrical about, the one that I was bigging up for Everton last week, absolute stripper in the second half. Shocking performance. Shocking performance. Just when I thought this guy was getting back to levels. Great game against Everton, great games against Frankfurt, great game against Brighton up until the last 10 minutes where he lost his head. And today, shocking passing for the most part. Second half, lunging into challenges and not really getting the ball, giving away dumb fouls. And again, his goes for the ball for this in the lead up to the second goal. Doesn't even make the proper contact you need on the ball, and the ball lands onto Man United player, and then Bruno has all the time in the world to pick his spot. Great finish. But again, a calamity of an error that leads to the goal. Calamity of an error that leads to the goal. Your quality centre back, so play like it. That is not on. Shocking performance. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. Fuck, man. We need another centre back. We need to raise the quality of this team. Romero is set in stone. Irrespective of today's shocking performance, we know the level. But the levels need to be increased in Dyer's position and in the left centre back position. I'm not even saying sell Dyer, even though I would not be opposed to it. if we had a good offer for him. I'm not saying sell Dyer. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not even saying, oh yeah, drop him. Because let's be real, we don't have anyone else to come in. If we drop him, who's going to play centre back? Who's going to play? But I need to see an upgrade in his position. Eric Dyer can't have an undroppable position in this team. He's not good enough to warrant such a position. He's not good enough to warrant such a status. And that is shown in games like tonight. And the attack. Son, anonymous, in Varane's pocket. Kane tried to sort of pin himself back on Martinez tonight. It didn't work, brother. It didn't work. There were one or two times, okay, yeah, it worked. But for the most part, it didn't work. Martinez wanted it more than Kane, was way more aggressive, and won the duel tonight. Won the duel. Again, our attackers, it doesn't help that they barely get the ball in performances like this. They barely get the ball. It will be interesting to see how many touches they had. I'll double check that. Yeah, it will be interesting to see. 1 sec. Let me just try and get it up now. How many touches did they have? Let's see. Oh, so Son had 39 touches. Kane had 40 touches. Okay, so they had a reasonable amount of touches and did nada. They were shit. They were shit tonight. Let's be real. And we had nothing off the bench to change it apart from bloody Lucas Moura. It was so bad, man. It was so bad, honestly. The amount of turnovers, the amount of unforced errors, the amount of sloppy passes, the amount of heavy touches, the amount of inconsistent passages of play, the amount of slack defending. The second half was crazy, bro, and the first half. Man United had 28 attempts. 28 attempts. 28 attempts. They should have scored about 5 tonight, bro. I'll be real. Marcus Rashford should have had a hat-trick. They should have scored about 4 or 5 goals tonight. And it would have been totally deserved. We cannot play like this. We cannot play like this. We cannot set up like this. We cannot put in these performances and expect to win. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It's mental, bro. It's mental that professional athletes can think that you can put in a performance like that and still get a result. But I need to speak on the manager, because this is the 3rd game now. And he even said in the press conference, when we play against the better sides, we are struggling. Big man, you have to take some accountability in this. You have to. The setup against Arsenal was poor. Not proactive enough. The setup again tonight, I don't know why we regressed. Again, not proactive enough. It's like we were watching that game expecting that Man United was just somehow going to drop their intensity or drop their intent to win the game. And it never happened. It never happened. As a manager, it is your responsibility, Conte, to try and lift the spirit and to try and go about the game differently if the way you initially wanted to go about the game is not working. Why did we see the same continuation of performances in the second half? Why? I've spoken about the players now, but now the manager, you have to make changes. At halftime, if you're the manager, you got to make a change. You can't be seeing Perisic getting murdered like that and keep him on the pitch. You can't see the lack of build-up and cohesion from the back, the lack of ability to play out from the back and not bring on someone like Longley for either Dyer or Davies. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. You have to make a change. Waiting until the 80th minute when the game is done to make changes, it don't make sense. And I know the bench wasn't good today. I know it. I know Richarlison is injured. I know Kulusevski is injured. But brother, why am I seeing Davison Sanchez touch pitch again? Let me tell you how mad Conte was today. Yeah? You've seen this team concede 19 shots in the first half. You don't think to make any sort of midfield change because our midfield was not getting anywhere close to Man United. You don't think to bring on Skip sooner, for any one of them. I'm not going to scapegoat Basuma. I know he was shit tonight, but so was the rest of them. Everyone was shit. Everyone was shit from top to bottom. Anyone could have been taken off. What I don't understand is why you don't bring on Skip sooner. Yeah? Why does Doherty come off before Perisic? Both were shit, but Perisic clearly was struggling on that side. Man United were killing us on that side for fun. It was clear. They were having a right jolly up on that side. Sessegnon, as shit as he was, had to come on at halftime. He didn't do it, but no. Sess comes on at 79 or 80 minutes with 10 minutes to go and is playing right wing back. And Perisic is still on the pitch. Only for Perisic to then go off, for Sessegnon to move left wing back, and Spence to come on and play right wing back in stoppage time. When you could have just easily just made one sub and taken off fucking Doherty for Spence and Sessegnon for Perisic. Makes no sense. And that, unfortunately, is Antonio Conte in a nutshell in the big games this season, outside of Chelsea. Subs, decision-making, it is not making sense. You need to pattern up. We cannot play like this away from home against these sides. It won't work. You need to try something different. And I will back Conte 100% to fix whatever issue we're having now. Whether it's our pressing style in future games, whether it's our shape, whether it's the formation switch, whatever it is, I will back Antonio Conte to find a solution because he's a top class coach. This is what he does. But he has to get corn. He has to get corn for some of the stuff that we saw last night. It's just not on. It's not on. How that team came out in this exact same way in the second half, having been battered the way they were. And then you see the performance. And then you see that we concede almost straight away after the second half begins. And you still don't make a change until the 80th minute. That is mental to me. Mental. As I said, the whole thing from top to bottom, rubbish. The only person that comes out of this with any sort of credibility tonight is Hugo Lloris. The rest, rubbish. 0 out of 10 for the lot. 0 out of 10 for the lot. For the lot. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I've run out of adjectives to describe how bad that performance was. I will never forget today. I will never forget it. There are some results that just stick with you for life. Liverpool getting thrashed 5-0 by Suarez. Yeah. Jose losing 3-0 to NS Mura. Do you get what I'm saying? Nuno losing to Pacos de Ferreira. There are just some performances that I can't shake. Poch getting slammed 3-0 by Brighton. And I love Poch. And tonight, that was Antonio Conte's moment. Losing in that manner to this United, to this version of Man United. I'll never forget it. I swear. I was sat there for 88 minutes before I left, just watching and just like my face was like this. Like I just could not believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was a diabolical performance across the board. There are basics that you need to do as a defender: winning your duels, covering the yards, pressing the opposition, being able to make basic vertical and horizontal passes. Yeah. Didn't do any of that to a good standard tonight. Didn't even do any of that to an average standard tonight. It was shocking. Shocking, shocking, shocking. And any sort of criticism that comes our way, we deserve it. I've been pammed and it's justified. This team deserves a pamming. Conte deserves a pamming for what we saw tonight. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And it has to change. It has to change. It's all good and well saying, yeah, we're getting these away games out of the way. Cool. But if we play the same way at home, the result will be the same. You'll lose. If you play like that against Man United at home, you'll lose. If you play like that against Arsenal at home, you'll lose. If you play like that against Chelsea at home, you will lose. You'll lose. Fundamentally, the players need to improve and we need to improve the quality of this team. I'll be real. I'll be real. We need to improve the quality of this team. I alluded to it with centre back. I've alluded to it in right wing with Kulusevski and in midfield and in the wing back area. Just poor, man. Just poor. Oh, Lord. I'm not even going to go to bed. I'm just going to stay up and just sleep on the plane. But listen, people, enough about me ranting. This is, 37 minutes, 38 minutes. People, make sure you smash a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All of that good stuff. I will try and make it for the Big Six. I've told Turkish I'm going to try. People are going to be saying, oh, don't duck the Big Six. I already told Turkish a couple of days back that I had to travel to Spain for my friend's wedding. He's known this already. But I will be there because I need to speak on this performance. So I will try and make it by hook or crook. But until then, people, take care. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Peace out.